Hi everyone, SilBee here. Welcome back to ColeFam's Mega March. Time to share some Mega memories. Mega Man as a franchise has always been a constant presence in my gaming catalog and otherwise. Heck, in a younger internet, you could hardly get away from it in video game fan circles. But it admittedly wasn't one of my mains. I had some pretty scattered experiences and no context for how the series fit together. A little Battle Network 3 here, a little Mega Man 64 there. I somehow managed to avoid most of the core platforming series the franchise is built upon for a long time. And when I did, it was Mega Man 1 on the Anniversary Collection and Mega Man 9. Not the easiest games to progress in for someone with little experience. I would continue being inexperienced with the series for years, never truly knowing the adventures that lied in store. But one year, something unexpected happened. A little thing called the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. Wish I could say something more positive got me further into the series, but this was it. It's really nice having all of these legacy collections running around now. As much as every fan wants a new game, you can't underestimate the power of re-releases during times of drought. If they didn't exist, and admittedly, if they weren't on sale during a time I desperately needed to fill the day, I wouldn't have gotten as into these games as I have, and certainly wouldn't have met the others in our community here. After completing the first legacy collection, I knew I wanted to learn more and more about this series. This was how I discovered the storyline, timeline, and lore, which sparked the imagination and got me hooked. A lot of older game series had settings and stories that were often just the means to an end, and that means plenty of room for you to speculate on how to fill in any blanks. With Mega Man, they certainly built upon the plot with each entry, but so many of the details either don't exist or are locked away in Japanese. This gave me room to think more about the series and the scenes in between for myself. So, how was my experience going through the series as a whole? The classic series games really have timeless appeal, and made me newly appreciate the value of iterative sequels. Because all the games have the same basic framework, the more you play, the more your general skill in them increases. What used to be seen as same old for each game has instead become, I like this, and I'm glad I have so much of it. It makes you zoom into the smaller differences each game has, and find new things to appreciate and criticize as a result. I'd say that's a pretty active way of engaging with your media, which is always a good thing. The X series really feels like a perfect evolution, at least at first. More control actions, more speed, more intense and grown-up feel. But as it went on, I found it more interesting for how much it did the opposite of the classic series, and constantly kept trying to change. The experimentation with the formula and how to balance gameplay, presentation, and story means that no matter how you may feel about each game, you certainly won't forget any of them. Sure, I may hate the gate boss battle, but that doesn't negate the amazing times I had dashing through the stages in X1 or the epicness of the final bosses in X8. Zero and ZX, together as they so often are, gave me a chance to revisit my childhood. ZX and ZXA were two that I had actually beaten as a kid. Even though the nostalgic memories didn't hold together within the actual games as much as I had wanted, the fact that I still came away with a more than positive impression of them still makes me happy. The sheer diversity of gameplay the biometals give you makes them amazing games to just run around in. And while the games throw a lot in your way that might hamper how smooth your progress goes, deciding to sit back and enjoy the ride made me not really care. I could slash and blast all day with these even now. The Zero games didn't quite fulfill that for me, but I appreciated how there's a very defined progression in their design with each entry. It also made me consider how kids that did get a chance to play them may have felt, and why there are such die-hard fans of this series specifically. Those are both perspectives I couldn't have gotten just from seeing them in Nintendo Power back then. Legends is my dirty little secret. I'm still only midway through Legends 2 to this day. Even just getting to that point though, I love just about everything. Legends just oozes charm and personality, atmosphere, and I'd even go so far as to say it's the easiest one to get sucked into. The whole world has such character, such mystery, and it's all backed up by extremely customizable gameplay that never fails to be fun. It was also nice to play the PlayStation versions for the first time since I had only played Mega Man 64 before. I have great memories of renting that one from a Blockbuster and discovering what other players' save files were on there, with one of them being right before the final boss. A way of getting spoiled that, for better or worse, is in the past. So many games, all done while I was stuck at home and furloughed. Sure, I played Animal Crossing with the rest of the world during the pandemic, but getting through all these adventures back to back was a much more important undertaking to me. The lessons I've learned and people I've met as a result are irreplaceable. I guess what I'm trying to say is, no matter what life throws at you, rock on! Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Check out the other Mega March vids, and support this channel through all the usual YouTube ways. You can find me helping out the Cole Fam channel and Discord server from time to time, and maybe someday I'll have stuff to plug of my own. Till then, always happy to chat with fans about their passions wherever and whenever. See ya!